Welcome, my smart lovers and friends. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to this community built just for you, focused on inspiring true love and authentic, healthy relationships, okay? All the ships, friendships, romantic relationships, partnerships, all of the above. So I'm super excited to have you here. What to expect, topics related to dating, relationships, marriage, growth, self-care, self-reflection, self-mastery. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the community. Make sure you share with a friend or two or three. Let's continue to grow together. Okay. All right. Hey, smart lovers. Happy Smart Love Sunday. I have a treat for you. Okay. I think we might need to put Chawnice, put something on mute because I think your iPad. Okay. So I'm super excited today. I have a special guest joining us, and I actually wore purple um, as a tribute to her book. As the cover is purple and it was giving royalty. So I feel like royalty. I feel like okay. So one second. I don't know if you guys. Let's see. Okay, I think I was hearing myself on Instagram. That's what that. Okay. All right. Where's the studio? 1 minute. Okay. Let's see. Okay, 1 second. I lost you. Oh, reset. There we go. Okay, technical difficulties. All right. Good thing I'm tech support. All right. So I'm super excited today. Oh, we already got folks joining. If anyone that is here live, please leave us a comment. Let us know you are watching, where you are watching from. But yeah, I'm super excited today. So I have Miss Chawnice Boomer, the acclaimed author of The Desire for Delusional Love. Where does the truth lie? That's a whole mouthful for you right there. There's so many ways we could break down this conversation. But I'm super excited because, as you all know, with Smart Love, we're focused on, learning from each other, sharing our experiences, being transparent, and ultimately figuring out the lessons that we're supposed to learn from our experiences in life. So I'm super excited to hear Chawnice's story, everything about the book. And yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring her to the stage.
Hey everyone. Hi.
Welcome to Smart Love.
Thank you for having me. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, I'm super excited. So the past few shows, I've had all this male energy, all this masculine energy, all this testosterone oozing through Smart Love. And they were giving us some, dropping some gems here and there, giving us a little bit of the game of how men think. But it's time for us to focus on the women, okay? We need to empower our sisters because we are under attack, okay? Black women are under attack.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, and let's see who's here. We got Daisha, Kelly. Hey.
Hey,
We
hey,
got,
hey.
we got Is that a Portia battle? She says, I love the book. Okay. Oh, you got
Yes.
fans,
Let's
girl.
go.
Come on, fans.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay. That's my mom, PJ. Hey, Mama
Hey, Mom.
PJ. We got Mitchell Lewis. Okay.
Hey, babe.
Y'all show it up. Come on, Portia battle. Yes.
Yes.
Come on. Yes. Yes.
Oh, hey, sis.
J plus 3. Yes. Okay. We in here. Let's
Hey,
go. Let's go.
cousins.
Hey,
Yes.
Jamie. Well, I'm super excited. Like they must have been waiting. It was like, okay, it's almost 7 o'clock. Let me set my timer.
I
Let's
love
get
my
to
family.
it.
I love my supporters. They are my number one fans. I love them, love them, love them. They always love and support me. Everybody that's on this live right now, they've been there since day one because
Wow.
so they support me. I support them, and I love them to death. So
I love it. I
thanks again,
love
guys.
it. Awesome. So Chawnice, like tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, what you do, just a little bit of background.
So a little bit of background. I am from the DMV area. You know, those in Atlanta already know what that is, the DC
Yeah.
area. I
DC,
am
Maryland, Virginia.
Yes, DC, Maryland, Virginia. There you go. You got it. Thank you for not saying Baltimore.
Well, I mean that's in Maryland.
And no shade, no shade. No, but yeah. And so I work in physical therapy. I am a mother, and I decided to write this book because it was heavy on my chest and and on my mind. And so when I had an incident that set me down, I ain't gonna say incident, I'm gonna say God set me down.
Mm.
It was like, it's time. You got to do it. And then I had my supportive boyfriend who said, "Look, write the book. Why are you not doing it? Do it."
Right.
And so I did. And let me tell you, it has brought so much joy to me, so much joy to others, and it's been a tremendous help to a lot of people. And the thing that made me scared about it was like I was scared of judgment. That's what it
Mm.
was. That's what held me back. People that were going
Okay.
to judge me because society deems, a side chick as the bad person, the person
Oh,
who
you was
breaks.
the side chick in the book. Oh, no, I'm just playing. No. So okay, so this is a memoir. Is it a guide? Self
It's a
help? Like
memoir. It's a
it's a
memoir.
memoir.
I'm
Okay.
telling my story, but also telling how I healed myself through this
Mm,
process.
mm. I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
And ultimately, I feel like being that transparent to put it in a book, you probably got some healing out of that in itself as
Oh,
well. So
yes. It was a lot of healing.
congratulations to you for even putting yourself out there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. A lot of
Okay,
healing.
so tell me, like, so what exactly about your story that you felt needed to get out there, and that like just give me like one or two like important lessons that you I have to get this out there. I need to share this with Black women specifically.
So one of the things that made me want to do it is because I wasted 7.5 years of my life.
Mm,
And so to me, I don't want any female wasting their time. They can give you all the, I'm going to divorce or we're not together or we're separated, but you still end up wasting your time. Time is something precious that we cannot get back.
it cannot get it back.
So that's one reason why I did it. The other reason is because society has deemed loving yourself, how can I put this in words, as the monetary things, so to
Mhm.
say. And that's not true. And so a lot of these women go off of the materialistic things that they get, the cars, the houses, the rent paid, or becoming a CEO or a boss in some type of business.
Mhm.
But in reality, like they have low self-esteem.
Mm.
And it hits home for me because I was in that same predicament. I had low self-esteem because had I had known better, had I had known what true love was, I wouldn't have been in that 7.5 year
You weren't getting
relationship.
that.
I wouldn't have
Okay.
wasted my time.
Okay, let's pause. Let's back up for a second. So
Mhm.
you said that your boyfriend encouraged you to write this book. So it wasn't the married man. This was a new boyfriend. Like after that relationship, you found
Oh,
love
way after,
way after. Okay.
way after.
So
Yes,
way after that relationship ended, you found love again,
yes,
and you shared your story with your boyfriend, and he's like, "You need to put this in a book."
yeah. He encouraged me to tell my story because he
Really?
was like, it's other women out there too. And then
Wow.
I also had my family who I talked to about the book as well, who also
Okay.
encouraged me too. But it was just that final step of him, like, like you really need to do this. Why are you sitting on this? You're a
Hmm.
really good writer, And then I don't know if my cousin Jasmine is in here, but we used to work together, and she used to say, like, cousin, like, you're sitting on gold. Like, why haven't you finished this book as well? So it's just like I said, I was scared to put it out there because I was scared to be judged.
That was judgment. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, ultimately, like, that the society is going to judge you no matter what, whether you tell the story or not. You might as well tell
Exactly.
it.
That's true. That's so
Um,
true.
but so I was transparent about this on another episode, but like, there was like 1 year of my life of my dating life where I dated nothing. It was like nothing but married men on the roster.
Oh, wow.
Not
Ooh.
intentionally. It was not. It was not intentionally. But I swear, each one of them had a story. Like it was just like, they know that like I have a big heart, and like
Mhm.
my heart bleeds for black men. I'd be like, what? She's so terrible. She's doing what to you? Like they would have these stories
That's
of
how it
like what's
goes.
going on, like how bad it is, um, and but they would have like bullshit reasons for staying. Because I'm like,
Exactly.
if this so fucking bad, get the hell up out of there. Like,
But they
what are you doing?
don't. Because we're just I'm saying I'm not that anymore, but
Right.
because once I found out, I stayed for an extra 2 years. I talk about that in my book too, because I'm very transparent in my book about what happened. And
Okay.
so when you get the love bombing and you get the, oh, I'm going to leave, I'm not going to
Mm,
stay there and all that other stuff, you believe it because your mind is already conditioned. Your mental is conditioned. You really, really love this person. You don't want to see the bad in this person.
mm.
But at the end of the day, they're not going anywhere because if they were going to go, they would have did it a long time ago.
Yep.
That's just a tactic to hold on to you because they don't want you going anywhere. But
Exactly.
it all ends up wasting your time because
Right.
they still have a full life. They still have a marriage, they still have kids, they still have everything. And here you are on the other side being this side chick, this ride or die side chick, and you're not getting anything in return. You're not getting anything.
Nothing. Like, look
You
at
don't get nothing.
Cardi. Look at yeah.
You're
Wow.
stuck.
Yeah. That's like no. That's true. And it's like, um, I think like one point that you said about like like loving yourself, and like ultimately like that's what made me like cut all those relationships off, because I was like, I'm not, like, I desire like a husband,
Yep.
like I desire like my own man. Like I don't want to have to pull a man from another relation. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like if I have to do that, that's not who God has chose for me. That's who I chose. Because
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying, I chose to entertain
But
that. God didn't
but
make
you
no
know what
difference if
though?
I had a husband.
It's nothing, you know what though? But the kicker to that is that even if, it's rare, but even if that person decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and be with her because she deserves it. Guess what? You still end up in that same cycle because he's never gonna stop a habit that he has. That
Nope.
habit is gonna be a continual habit that's gonna continue. You're just gonna become a part of that cycle. Oh, you're the
Mm,
main
mm,
chick now,
mm.
but there's
There
always
you
gonna be another chick now. So don't even do that to yourself. But
Yep.
it brings you back to, again, loving yourself, because when you love yourself so much, take yourself out on a date, treat yourself nicely. You don't, the things that men come up to you with these excuses of, oh, I'm never leaving home, but I want you. No, sir, you don't want me. That's not, no, we're not going to
Right.
play those games anymore. But when you love yourself enough, I'm not even going to say enough. When you love yourself, it's like the ultimate goal Nobody can do or say anything to you that's going to make you be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to settle for it. No, don't settle for anything. Don't
Yep,
do it
that's
to
that.
yourself.
Each one teach one moment. Life lessons learned through experience of someone else. I'm a firm believer that you don't have to live through the experience to learn the lesson. Teach, show you
Absolutely.
preaching.
Yes, sis, come through.
You preach it, and you know what? And that is the whole reason why that's what inspired me to start Smart Love, because it was like it started with me like wanting to share my story, and
Hmm.
then I was like, well, wouldn't it be great to hear others' stories and like, like from us for us to like start to learn from each other's experiences, and like, like sis said, like you don't have to actually go through it to like get the lesson. Like, okay, he's never gonna leave. Don't do it, sis.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm
Don't do it.
saying?
Don't do it.
You don't have to go through that to know. Like,
Nope.
that you can listen to your story, listen to my story, things like that. So I love that. So on your journey to healing, um, well, first of all, what ultimately got you out of that relationship? How did you end up leaving it?
When I knew he wasn't going to leave,
Okay.
when all the BS he fed me just wasn't true. The lip service was good, the actions behind it wasn't.
Mm,
Let's just put it that way.
wow. Okay. And so, what was your journey to healing after that? Because 7 years is a long time. And then you get back out here. Did you even know how to date again? Like,
So let me explain that to you because that was kind of rough too. It was kind of rough. But I took 3.5 years to myself
okay.
after that relationship. I did not date anyone. I probably went out, but it wasn't like a date, like trying to date you to be in a relationship type of date.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just took that time to myself, that healing process. I started therapy. I started journaling. And I want to thank my mom for that because my mom, since I was small, has always been like, you need to journal, journal, journal,
Mm,
journal. And it helped me out tremendously going through this process because us as women, I know I probably get backlash on this, but we talk to our friends and we talk to our relatives, and sometimes it's not just a listening ear, it's always a lot of feedback. And during that time of healing, we don't want the feedback.
yeah.
And it could be good feedback or it could be bad feedback, but during that process, you just want somebody to just listen, right? But what I
Mm-hmm.
learned was also during that time, when it's time for that person to just listen, make sure they're mentally available to you to just listen.
Mm,
Because if not, you're not going to get what you're expecting.
right. I
And
love that.
so I, for one, was just like, let me just write. Let me just write. Let me just start therapy. Let me date myself. Let me go through these different levels of my feelings and my emotions, which is something that I've never done before in my life,
Mm,
to actually feel my emotions, to actually process and go through my emotions.
yeah.
We break up with somebody, we like, oh yeah, on to the next, because
That-
forget that person because I'm on to the next.
right.
Not truly healing from what it was, because trauma, there's a lot of
Yep.
trauma in that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of self work that needs to be done, because why did I settle?
Why did
What
I
was I
say?
missing? I had to figure out all that. But in the midst of that, I leaned on God, and that was my savior,
Mm,
because he's the only person that can get me through any and everything. And I learned that every single time.
mm,
Every single time. I followed his steps. I left my hurt in his hands, and he just took me through the process. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to heal. Be by yourself. Be by
mm.
yourself.
Be by yourself.
So it was like being like a born again version again. No sexual contact, no nothing. Not even just going out there and just having a casual, fling or anything like that. Like I really
You put
got into
yourself on punishment. You like self. You can't. Mm-mm.
absolutely. I
Can't
needed
even
to,
dibble dabble. Nope.
but it taught me things about myself that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for instance, me being able to process my emotions, I never went through that before. So that was kind of heavy for me because I was able to cry, I was able to scream, I was able to just let my feelings be my feelings without somebody saying, you're tough. What you crying for? Why are you acting like that? You know who you are, you know, and I do to a certain extent knew who I was. But after this, I knew and realized the woman who I truly was after that.
Mm.
And that
Mm.
speaks volumes for itself because growing up, everybody has a different story of what love is to them. My grandmothers, my grandmother's grandmothers, my mother, my aunts, and all of them have different versions, and everybody put up with different things of their versions of love. And for me, I felt like that cycle was a continued cycle, and that cycle cycled onto me.
Mm.
And so once I realized what true love was to me, that cycle ended. It
I love
ended
it.
right
It
then and there.
ended. Okay, so if you had to take accountability for your role in this affair, because also I know what you said about, like, not wanting to, one reason why you didn't want to put the story out there is because you didn't want to be judged, but there was probably some guilt there as well, right?
Oh, yes. Yes. There's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of remorse because at the end of the day, we're all human, right?
Hmm.
And I believe in karma. I totally believe in karma. And so for me, knowing after I found out and I stayed, that was all on me. I can't
Yeah.
blame that on nobody else. I can't blame that on him. I can't blame it on nobody but myself
Hmm.
because I'm the one who chose to stay after that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that guilt and that remorse was like, ooh, child, you gotta let it go. This is you gotta let it out. You gotta let it go. And I did that through my book. It helped me out so much because I would stand up and say, yes, I can't say unknowingly in the beginning, but in the end, I knowingly knew that I was the side chick and I
Mm.
continued to stay in that relationship. So there is guilt, there is remorse, but finding myself in that situation is the key point from this and finding self love
Finding
was the
self-love.
takeaway.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so um, what what advice would you give women in like trying to navigate the difference between like genuine love and delusional, attachment, or delusional love as you described it?
Okay, so let's
Like,
start off with
I
this.
know hindsight is 2020. Like, now that you know.
I'm gonna say delusional love is what you make up in your head because we all have this fairy tale of that's gonna be my man. We're gonna do this, 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 and this. You've already pictured it. You've already laid it out. You've already mapped it out. You know what left, what right turn. That's delusional love
Okay.
because you truly haven't experienced that man on those
Mm.
different levels yet. So that's delusional love. Genuine love comes from the heart. Somebody that's going to be there for you, love you, regardless of your baggage, regardless of the things that you go through. And true love is going to depict, you're going to see it, you're going to feel it. It's going to be something that you cannot turn away from. And we're not talking about like soulmate type of love. We're talking about true, genuine love. And that's in friendships, relationships, workmanships, like people you work with at work. You're gonna feel that true, genuine love when it hits you. And but the only way to know that is if you truly love yourself. You're never gonna know if somebody else truly loves you unless you truly love yourself. That's the only way you're gonna find that out.
Yeah,
So you got to do the work. If you haven't done the work, you got to do the work.
you gotta do the work. Okay, so let's talk about the work. Like,
Mhm.
so on your journey, to find self-love, like you talked about, journaling, you talked about, turning to God, becoming celibate. Like, what's the, like, a good guide for women that have, because I know a lot of women are just like me. Like, when we're in relationships,
You
we
all in.
pour into
You
that.
all in.
We all in. We rarely in a relationship ourselves even equal to our partner as far as like loving ourselves. So this is something that you have to learn, and like we've never been in a position to do that, right? Like you've never, no one else No one has told you growing up. Make sure you love yourself first. Focus on you first.
Right. Right.
So, like, what is it like a path for women in like just say you don't want to have to go through a traumatic breakup to find yourself. Let's
So,
just lay it out for them without the tragedy.
well, I'm glad you brought that up because coming up in the next couple of months, I'll be coaching women out of being a side chick. I
Hey,
got some ebooks dropping
come
for that as
on,
well.
side chick.
Um, so in order to do that, I'm going to always say be intentional about yourself.
Mm,
That means no matter what's going on, be intentional about you. That means get up in the morning. That means pray. That means exercise. That means eat right. Feed your mind, body, and spirit.
love that.
That's the number one step. That has to be done every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Start now, ladies.
once you start living for yourself, it doesn't matter what relationship you get in. Not saying that that man is going to come second, but you're going to always take care of you first. And when taking care of you first happens, guess what? That man flourishes. He loves you more than you love yourself because guess what? You're not worried about what's going on over there. You're focused on building you, you're focused on loving you. So no matter what happens in that situation, whether you stay together, break up or not, don't have expectations.
Mm.
Because when you put expectations on people, guess what? You're bound to be hurt.
Yep, they're
Your
gonna
feelings
disappoint
are going to
you
be
every
hurt. Don't have expectations.
time. I love that.
So, with that being said, guys, just genuinely be intentional about loving yourself and putting yourself first. No matter if you're in a relationship, no matter if you're married, no matter if you're seeking marriage or seeking a husband, put yourself first. Let
Yep.
that energy flow through you. It's a natural energy. And then I'll give more tips in my ebooks.
Oh yes, come on, y'all gonna have to pay for the rest, y'all. Y'all got some free games tonight. Y'all have to pay for the rest. And wherever you're watching from, please love, like, react to this post because that will get it out to more people. And also make sure you subscribe. Click that subscribe button. This is so juicy. Like I love this. I love this.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
all
yes.
your people show up because I'm like, oh, I
Yes.
don't know this name. Okay, okay. Yeah, they are in the comments. Can you see it to the right? Do you see the comments there?
Oh, it's not even coming up on mine.
Oh, you know what? Probably because you're on the iPad.
No, I'm on the laptop. I'm on the
You're
laptop.
on a laptop? Okay, so to the right,
See it. I had to click it. I'm
some
sorry.
icons. It says like comment.
Yes, Anika. Yes, cousin.
There you go. See?
Boundaries, girl. Yes. Set them boundaries.
Okay, I'm trying to click back on. Okay, my mouse is tripping. Okay, so yes, do the work.
Yes.
Okay, how
Thanks,
do
Meg. I see you. Yes. See?
okay.
Support. Support, support, support.
Okay, 1 second. I'm getting all kind of people calling. And computer acting funny. Okay, okay. I'm gonna just have to leave that comment up there for a second till my computer catch up with me. Am I frozen?
You were. Now you're back.
Okay.
Oh, you're moving a little slow. Little glitch.
Okay, let me close some of these windows. That's all. Let me take this off. Okay.
Okay, there you go. You're moving in action now.
Okay, I'm back.
You're back.
Okay. Yeah, because like I think I have so many things going on that my computer started to move slow. And okay, so let me find this comment that I pinned. I don't know how to. Y'all in there, y'all. I see y'all. Okay, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Do the work.
Your book definitely helped me because okay.
Yes. That's a book.
So okay, so often on my show, remember I told you I had like all these I had back to back these male guests and they just had a lot to say about what women need to do
Right.
and what we doing wrong.
Right.
But woman to woman, what are things in today's modern what are issues that today's modern woman really needs to deal with and take accountability for? We don't need the men to tell us. We about to tell each other, like sister to sister.
Sister to
Sis.
sister, sis, take accountability for your actions and your responses. You
Mm.
do not have to give a response to every single thing that's going on. You do not have to do that at all. Your actions, I'm going to say this because some of us are raging bulls. And I for one, I'm going to speak because I was a raging bull, okay?
Mm.
Even my mother will say, "You're too mean. You always being mean. You need to tone it down a little bit. Why you talking like that?" Like, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
it's all in how we communicate. Communication is a huge, huge issue for majority of us as women. And when I say that, I mean because we don't know how to process our emotions and our feelings. Because your emotions and your feelings are two totally different things. When
Mm.
you're processing straight off emotions, you're going to get that raw ugliness. You know what I mean? But when
Mhm.
you process your emotions and you talk through your feelings, you get a better response.
Mm. I like that.
So,
Take
yes, my
note.
little tidbit.
That I like that. I like that. What they say in the comments. Hold on. Yeah, they say communication is key. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, speaking very aggressive. Yes. Yeah, we got to tone it down, ladies, especially when we're trying to communicate with men because they don't hear that.
They don't.
Like they
They will
just hear
tune it
yeah,
out. They
yeah,
will
yeah,
tune it out so quick. Let
yeah.
me
So
tell you,
quick.
so
But
quick.
if you lower your voice and you get into your feminine voice and you could say the exact same words and they will take it differently. Like okay. Like they want to know what they can do to fix it. But
They
if
are
you
because men are,
wah,
yeah, men are natural fixers. That's what they love to do. They love to fix things, but it's all in how you communicate with them.
mhm.
And I'm still learning that to this day. That's still one of the things that I work on very, very hard because I was just so used to who you think you're talking to. What, what you say? Like facial expressions, you name it.
That
Like
is so
that was,
DC of you.
that
Like
was
I've
me.
heard all of that. And who you think you're talking to? That is so DC.
So, but learning how to, but it also depends on the man too, because how they communicate to you is how you respond
Mm,
to them.
that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like,
So
and I always say this, I feel like, men are in this day and age kind of taking a back seat and we need y'all to be leaders. Like, don't let us just be out here running amok. But if y'all, if y'all would lead in a way that's like, loving and caring and, empathetic, then you will get a totally different response from us. So, like you said, like while we working on our responses, if y'all could work on how y'all approach us, men.
no, I agree. I agree. I agree with that to a certain extent because I always say that
Okay.
men are the thermostat and we're the
Mm,
temperature because they set
mm,
that temperature, they set that tone. But you have to also remember a lot of these men didn't come from a background like that. They have to
mm,
know what their purpose is before they can lead anybody to go anywhere. And if they don't know what their purpose is, they can't lead you. They can't show you what love is. They can't show you how to nurture. They can't show you how to do any of that because they don't know what their own purpose is. They got
mm,
to figure that out first within themselves. And there's
back.
a lot of men that's out here that has trauma that don't think they have trauma, but it is trauma. And
Mm,
until they decide to want to fix that, they can't lead you. So you have to
mm.
always keep that in your mind. They can't lead you if they don't know. You can show them
Oh,
all day, but
right.
they can't. So they will
So,
set
so
that.
what we supposed to do? Because we doing all this work and we healing. It ain't gonna be enough healed men today.
So I would say this:
Ooh.
if there's a person that you love, that you truly love, true, genuine love, you're going to help them get to that next level of healing within themselves. Now, once you put it on the table and let's go to therapy, you need a therapy session, or you need to be around a group of men that have a community where you can have your mental days and talk about the things that you need to talk about amongst other men. Now, once you put all that out on the table, because you're always, us as women, we always elevate our man, right?
Yeah.
So if he chooses not to do the work, then you leave. You know what I'm saying? You let it go. You
Yeah.
can't help him. He got to want to help himself at the end of the day. So if you want to heal and grow together, that's the whole goal, because nobody's ever going to be whole. Nobody's ever going to be perfect,
No.
ever. But it's up to the two people that's in that relationship. Hey, let's heal together. Let's work together to make this work. And if they don't want to do the work, then you got to leave them alone, because your self-worth and how much you love yourself will speak volumes over that. So don't settle for that.
Don't settle. I love
Don't
that.
settle.
I love that. I love that. So, so have you ever been married before?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So has your experience changed like how you view marriage at all? Or do you want to get married?
It hasn't changed my views on marriage. I want to
Okay.
get married. I do
Okay.
want to be married. So
Okay. So so you're just gonna make sure that the person that um choose to go down that road with is doing the work, even if they're not, perfect. Yeah, you're like, look, I did my work.
absolutely.
You gotta do your work before we get to this partnership. Like for real. Like
No, absolutely. Because you get to see the progress, how they handle things outside of, how they handle things with anger. Are they truthful? Are they transparent? Because there's a difference with all of that when you're in a relationship.
mm-hmm.
And if you actually sit down and have a conversation with your significant other, you will find out what it is that, or where they lack eventually, you know?
Yep.
And if it's real, then you should be able to tell them, hey, look, this is not where it is. We got to get you some help in this area, because, we're trying to grow as one. We're not trying to be stuck on this level. We're trying to elevate to multiple levels with each other and not
Amen.
just be here at the bottom.
That's
So
right. Right. I love that. So you have your coaching. Oops, hold on. You got your side chick coaching coming up. Is there another book in you? Like what are we thinking as
there's
far as
definitely another book in me. I'm
okay.
not, yes, there's a book two coming out. There's a book two, because,
Okay.
and then the ebooks are, self-love books that are coming out, that are going to be dropping, and then be coaching, because I'm going to help these chicks. We got to get out of this. We got to
We got
get
to
out
get
of this cycle. We cannot stay in this repetitive cycle. And I know some women want it. Some women, that's their thing. And I'm not here to judge anybody by
mm-hmm.
any means. If that's what you love to do, hey sis, I'm not knocking you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But for those who want to find true, genuine love, I want to help those women. I want those women to have self love and respect themselves, so that they can find their knight in shining armor. You know what
Mm,
I mean? Somebody that
yeah.
they can have forever, somebody that they can call theirs.
Yes.
Nobody else can have them. But I'm going to take them through those steps and take them through those processes. So it's going to be workshops, it's going to be journaling, it's going to be my ebooks that we're talking about. And I'm just going to help them become a better version of themselves. Find that gem
Mm,
and then shine
right.
bright.
That's right.
So
And it all starts with self.
it all starts with self.
Yeah.
It definitely all
It's,
starts
it's
with
gonna always,
self.
it don't matter how you spend it, it's gonna always come back to self. Do
Yes.
the
And
work on yourself.
yep.
And I think, that's the only way that you truly find those genuine, healthy, loving relationships. I had did a video, I don't know, a while back, like what to focus on when you're single. And one of the things was, of course, like focusing on your, loving yourself,
Mm-hmm.
knowing who you are,
Yep.
um, focusing on your own, financial independence. Make sure that you don't get into a relationship based on finances because that happens a lot.
So
or
you
you
so
stay, or you stay because of finance. You know what I'm saying?
but it can't be transitional. Your relationships can't be transition.
Transaction. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
there you go. Transactions. My
Yeah,
bad, guys.
exactly.
Transactions. It can't be like that because the give and take, that's gonna wear you down enough. Like you're gonna be so weighed down by that, and then it gets old. Because
Hmm.
what else can you do for me is gonna be your whole mindset, and
Yep.
that's not a mindset to have. You
It's
know what I mean?
not going into a relationship.
Not going into a relationship. What can you do for me?
Mm.
That's not it. The
That's not
question
it.
is
Who wants to sign up for
what
that?
can you do for yourself that's going to elevate me
Thank
and
you.
help me in other areas is the question. That's the question.
Exactly. Exactly. So, because it's about like not going into a relationship lacking things that really you should find on your own. So it's like, yeah, your financial independence, your self mastery, um, healing your trauma.
Yes, that's number
Like
one.
you can't expect, what I'm saying, your partner to do that for you. That's
Yep.
something that's all about you that you got to heal
All
yourself.
about all about self.
All
It's
about
all
self.
about self. And it takes a
All
while
about
because
self.
people don't like to dig deep. But that trauma runs deep. It runs
Mhm.
deeper than we know. And
Right.
it starts at, from age 5 and up.
Mm.
It's a lot of trauma. A lot of things that we see growing up that has traumatized us, that has, certain situations for people, and they've carried that trauma all the way into adulthood.
Mhm.
But until you release that trauma, it's going to be there.
It's gonna be
And that
there.
trauma is going to have an effect on every single relationship that you have. Some way, shape, form, or fashion is going to show up in your friendship, your relationship, at work is going to show up. It's what people like to call your triggers. I don't
Your
like using that
trigger,
word. I don't
right?
like using those words. Like, I don't like using the word trigger because it's not necessarily a trigger. It's something that you need to work on because nobody is responsible for that but you. So,
Yep. True can help them and be supportive, and they go through the healing. Yep. Yeah, they can help you go through the healing, but it's ultimately about focusing on yourself, and
yep.
like I said, oftentimes when you're in a relationship, you're not going to do that. You're just
Nope.
not.
You're not. You're
No
not.
one's forcing you to. And you
Hmm.
spending so much time, working on that relationship, like not knowing that the underlying issues is with self.
Hmm.
You're spinning your wheels for nothing. Like, until you work on
Exactly.
you and they work on them, like
It's
yeah.
going to be a repetitive cycle. And that cycle is going to get boring after a while. You're going to get tired after that cycle because you guys are going to come back to the same common ground. Once again, we're here again with the same issue because the issue never got resolved. Why? Because nobody wanted to do the work to work on themselves, or nobody actually wanted to sit down and have a conversation. And emotions run high. Male and female, we both have emotions, right? But it's all in how you handle your emotions because nobody's responsible for anybody's reactions. As adults, we're not responsible for anybody's reactions. But at the end of the day, some people just shut down because they don't know how to respond. They don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to say, like, you know what, that just really pissed me off right now. I'm gonna have to take a 5-second break from this conversation. They
Yep.
just completely shut down. And then the other person on the other end of that is like, did you just shut down on me? Like now I'm not going to talk to you because you're not talking to me because
Right.
nobody knows how to handle. You know what I mean? So it's a big cycle that's going to continue unless both of you guys work on yourself at the end of the
Yep.
day.
You hear that? Men and women, we got work to do on ourselves. Well, this has been such a great conversation. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Now let me go to The comments. Does anyone have any questions for Chawnice? Let's see.
Oh yes, cousins, I
Yes.
see you. Hey, Chrissy.
Any questions? Vicious. Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
Yes.
Exactly right. Yeah. And I think that I like what you said at one point. You said something about like breaking like the generational curse or something like that.
Yes.
Like we have to understand like this was not taught to us, this is not
Mhm.
handed down. So this is something brand new that we need to be passing on to our children.
Yes.
So, this I think is I love that, so many people, especially women in this day and age, are seeking help, seeking therapy, um,
Yes.
you know, looking for ways to heal, dealing with their trauma. And,
Hmm.
we're making sure that that cycle does not continue beyond us. So I think that's great. And we need to
That's
continue to do that work.
that's very, very important to me because growing up, like, the men or the guys, like it's a majority, a lot of men on like my dad's side of the family, and then like a lot of women on my mom's side of the family. So like, the whole like when I had my son, it was always gotta be tough, can't cry. What you crying for? Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? But once I learned that cycle of how to deal with your emotions, because I used to be that hard mom, like, what you crying for? Like, stop. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Or didn't give that loving hug or didn't want to be touched or, for myself, like I didn't
mhm,
want hugs. I didn't want any of that for a long time. You know what I mean? But that was my
mhm,
own trauma that I had to deal with.
mm,
Once I realized what I was doing and how I was affecting my son by not giving him the hugs that he wanted, by always pushing him away when he wanted to be underneath of me, or telling him to stop crying when he felt his emotions.
mm.
Once I realized what I was doing to him, that cycle had to stop. That cycle had to end. You know what I mean? Because we're always taught in society, oh, that's feminine, letting
Yep.
that boy cry like that. Just make him get up off the floor. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? But he was entitled to feel the way that he felt.
Yes.
And in the end, in the long run, it kind of messed him up because he wasn't able to express himself the way that he truly needed to express himself because he was always shut down and shut off.
Mm. Yeah,
That
and
was a
that's the
vicious
story for
cycle.
a lot of Black men. Like I feel that that is something that we all have to, take a look at and see, like, generations
Yep.
of, this, be a man, like a Black man, like is just painted in this picture to be like they always have to be strong. They can't
Yep.
show any emotion. And
Yep.
so it does end up coming out in a negative way, like
Mhm.
them suppressing all of those feelings.
Yep.
And I think that, just showing our brothers a little, empathy, like giving, like understand like that's where they came from, that's how they were raised. And like you said, for those of us raising sons, to do it differently. Let's break the curse. Like,
Yes.
I definitely feel like, I make sure that with both my children, my son and my daughter, I'm very like, loving and like just over like I'm not like a helicopter mom, but like I just overly like try to make sure that they're okay. Like I'm like, look, like I don't tell them like you will be a man, don't cry. I'll be like, like let's talk through this. Like what's wrong? Like why are you doing it? Like, but
That
I know
exactly.
them
That's how
as
you but
yeah,
that's how you do it though, because
yeah,
Daisha, I like your comment. Yeah, I'm not teaching my son like that. After you cry, how are you going to deal with this? And that's exactly how you do it, because
yeah,
let them go through their emotions, but then show them afterwards. You know what I
hmm,
mean? Don't
yep,
just shut them down. Don't just tell them stop crying. Don't just mute them, because once you mute them, that's how they see things as they grow up. They're just going to mute a lot of things that happen to them and they suppress it,
hmm.
but then it shows up in other ways. So I absolutely love that. Um, And then, okay, Shay.
She said, as a woman raised by my dad, I understand both sides, but it was a struggle to break the cycle and emotional trauma. My dad was raised not to show emotion, so naturally that's why he instilled it in me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is hard. It's definitely hard. It's very, very hard to break that cycle. So I totally agree with you on that. Um, but I also feel that being overly loving to your kids sometimes can also blind them. You know,
Mm,
it can also blind them. And I'm not, it can blind them to the fact of we're so nurturing, we're so caring that instead of teaching them how to work through, we end up loving them so much that we do for and not
mm,
let them do.
that part.
So we have to be careful with that as well. That's something else that I learned in that. Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. And Shay,
Okay,
I didn't see
Chawnice.
your comment, Shay. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, Shay,
Um,
let's
I
see.
am working on a pop-up shop for my book, and I am gonna do another book signing, guys.
Okay,
I didn't do one in the Maryland area because Maryland was supposed to be my last one, my last stop on the book tour.
okay.
So by next month, there will be another book signing from me in my hometown, state of Maryland. So be looking out for that, guys. Definitely will be signing books and reading some chapters from the books. So all are welcome to come. Bring your books so I can sign them. If you haven't, there'll be books there for you to purchase as well. So, and again, I just want to truly thank everybody who has been on this live, who has been supporting me since day one. I absolutely love you guys so much. This means the world to me. You guys are always showing up, my supporters, and I love you, love you, love you, love you. A few projects, like I said, the ebooks will be dropping. I'll be coaching women out of being the side chick, and then Luminous Inspirations Consulting LLC,
Oh,
your CEO.
yes.
Right
Come
here.
on, Lord. Yes. I love
2025 is my year. So, guys, you don't want to miss anything that's coming up. And thanks for all the support. I love you guys so much. And I want to thank you for letting me be a part of your podcast. It was truly amazing. I shall see you again in Atlanta.
Yes, yes.
So another media press tour somewhere. I will bump
Let's
into
do
you, I'm
it. Let's
sure.
do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I definitely make sure, when you're in Atlanta, reach out to me. I will come to your event. Maybe we'll go live from your book signing and, just give them some more game. So
Yes,
I love all of
absolutely.
this.
Absolutely. Oh, and the last one following up. What is this? Oh, March, coming up in March. Ray Daniels on podcast. So I will
Okay.
be tuning you guys in from there too. Okay. So just keep following
Awesome.
me, guys. Keep following me. Keep following me.
Yes. Come on, Ray Daniels. Oh, I can't wait. I want to see that one. I want to see that. Make sure you post, put it all on your page and stuff so we can get that good
Oh,
conversation.
and guys, for those who haven't, remember this book right here.
Oh, let's
Excuse my little wrist. Okay. Sorry, it's broken. Yes. Get
the
this book if you haven't. 5 stars on Amazon. Great reviews. Guys, we try to make this book go number one. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's make it number one. Come on. How much more you need? How many more sales you need? Come on. Let's
Oh,
put
we
it
need a
out
lot more sales. Oh,
there. Okay.
and guys, sorry, the sales from the book will be going to women and children's shelters. So the
Wow.
proceeds from these books will be going to women and children's shelters in the DMV area. So if you haven't purchased or if you want your friends to purchase, look, purchase the book. Purchase the book. You get a great story out of it. You get a self love impromptu to follow up
Yes.
with. And like I said, all the proceeds will be going to women and children's shelter in the DMV area. So I love
Thank
you guys.
you. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you go ahead right now. Go ahead and like this post so other folks can see how, all these comments are going to be there too. So they're going to see we was getting into it. I really appreciate all of Shanice's fans and family for joining. I appreciate my
Yes,
heart
yes.
lovers. This was awesome. We're going to continue to have these open, um, transparent discussions, sharing our experiences, and
Yes.
hoping that we, empower others to make better decisions when it comes to smart love.
Yes.
So thank you, Chawnice. Thanks
Thank you
everyone
for
for
having me. Thanks,
joining.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, no, I don't want to. Oh, it's gonna say. Welcome, my smart lovers and friends. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to this community built just for you, focused on inspiring true love and authentic, healthy relationships. Okay, all the ships, friendships, romantic relationships, partnerships, all of the above. So I'm super excited to have you here. What to expect, topics related to dating, relationships, marriage, growth,